Hey traders, checking in on the stock market today. So finally some initial signs of consolidation shaping up the possibility of a pullback, but the bears still have some proving to do. I'll show you what they need to do tomorrow for that daily consolidation to be underway. Before we get to the charts, we are doing our end of the year course sale. So any of our two courses for $180 combined, and you don't need a special code or anything. We just set things up so that is the way it is at checkout. And you can click the link in the pinned comments of this YouTube video to take you to that page. All right, so for the last couple trading days, we were keeping an eye out for some signs of daily consolidation. We were looking for a pullback. We're looking for daily higher lows, but none of that has really started yet. All we've gotten today is now a setup where we can see the potential that daily consolidation begins if the bears prove it to us. And the vast majority of individual names that we're looking at have a big 5-day bull move. And today they started shaping up the possibility that bears can confirm an hourly downtrend and take over. So we're going to look through a lot of names, and there are a ton of individual names that have this same setup. But to make it simple, SPY pulled back all morning, bounced into the afternoon, and if we break the low of today, tomorrow, the hourly downtrend confirms, which means zoom out because daily consolidation is underway. From there, the next trade that I'm looking for, again, the past couple of days, the trade that I've been looking for is bearish daily consolidation. I haven't gotten it a few days. I've stopped out. I've had some break-even stop outs. I had actually the red day that I had was trying to play bounces. But at this point, I'm looking for that daily pullback still. And then the next trade that I'm looking for, I already know it. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know I'm scouting hourly oversold bounces in our strongest names, looking for daily higher lows to form. So whether it's SPY or QQQ or IWM or NVDA or Tesla, any name that's had a big time bull move and has been, a scenario where bulls would be chasing or feeling FOMO, I missed this move. Hourly oversold is the second chance for bulls to be looking for an entry. The strongest uptrends set hourly higher lows in 5-minute oversold conditions. They set daily higher lows in hourly oversold conditions. So if these bulls are going to keep their complete control heading into the new year, hourly oversold needs to mark those daily higher lows. If it doesn't, that means the pullback is likely more significant, and that just shifts probabilities. If we bounce from hourly oversold instead of daily higher low, we likely see continuation. It's likely a bull flag. If we bounce from hourly oversold and instead of lower high and lower low, the pullback then becomes more significant and it opens the door for the possibility of a lower high to be the result of the next bounce. Again, this is all looking in advance. We're going to take it one day at a time, but I already know I can look ahead and say this is the next trade scenario that I'm going to be looking for to be looking to go a little bit aggressive. And we'll see if that shapes up sometime in the next few days. There's many different ways with how we can get to oversold. We can stair step our way down, cooling off RSI as we go. We can waterfall drop and get there very quickly. So watching very closely. Another thing to keep in mind in hindsight, yesterday it was very clear that our highest risk, highest reward sectors pulled back first. Cannabis names and cryptocurrency overnight. Big red crypto drop. That was a precursor to consolidation from our stronger names today. So the fact that NVDA, QQQ, Tesla, they're all red today is definitely something that I'm jotting down in my mental memory banks to remember for next time around. The weakest names saw profit taking first, and the stronger names followed the following day. So if the low of today breaks tomorrow, we zoom out, we patiently wait for hourly oversold, and we look for a daily higher low to try and form. The NASDAQ is back testing our key resistance zone. Breaking it was a great sign for the bulls yesterday. We headed into this morning. This 4-hour time frame was very extended. We had not seen any consolidation overnight on the 4-hour time frame, and we got it when the bell rang. Here we are back testing that previous resistance, now support. It aligns with the 4-hour EMA 12, and it's the bulls trying to set a 4-hour higher low to keep the uptrend. And overnight, if we're going to see the setup, and again, looking at QQQ, it's the same setup as SPY. Drop all morning, hourly, watching for a lower high. And if we break the low of today, tomorrow, the hourly downtrend confirms. And looking at it on the futures chart here, it would be similar where if this bounce gets going overnight, fail to break the high, and then break the low of today, would confirm a 4-hour downtrend into daily consolidation. So it's a very similar setup, just different time frames based on different hours in a trading day. And we'll scout hourly oversold, and we'll scout a daily higher low if bears start proving it with daily consolidation beginning. Semiconductors gapped up, some of them did, and we gapped up and broke resistance, but no follow through. So the adjusted dividend level is 317.12, and we opened above that level by less than $1, but that was the high of the day right at the open, and we pulled back instantly from there. So as far as I'm concerned, that's as good as a rejection. For me, that's a double top at 317.12, but it's the same setup. Can the bears confirm the hourly downtrend, breaking the low of today, tomorrow, to set up daily consolidation, and for them to have us watching for a daily higher low and hourly oversold conditions? AMD is the same setup to scout a daily higher low. NVDA is the same setup. I'm considering this a double top on NVDA. Again, we opened higher. Look at the similarities. Gap up, open, bears control the day. Gap up, open, right at the same level, bears control the day. Have to break the low of today, tomorrow, for daily consolidation to be underway. Tesla, double top with the high of yesterday. So we were watching this as an aggressive bear top fish first thing, and we knew that the break by $2 was not enough. We broke that level, and I was live streaming at the time and was able to say, that is not a convincing break. It's still a double top as far as I'm concerned. And a few minutes later, we hit a new low of the day, and then it became very clear it was a resistance rejection at that point. So same deal, hourly. Lower high on the bounce. We had a half hour equilibrium into the close. If it breaks bear, daily consolidation underway. We scout hourly oversold, which again isn't that close. We would need a solid red day if we were going to see hourly oversold tomorrow. And then daily EMA 12. The ideal scenario would be a back test of the daily EMA 12 support, hourly oversold conditions, scouting a daily higher low if we're going to be looking for that bounce. So again, it's nice knowing that I've got an hourly oversold bounce trade coming sometime the next few days, most likely. Healthcare, a little bit of a bearish setup. Not a bearish setup. Again, it's a pullback that opens the door for the bears. The bears have to prove it. If they don't, and we hold the low of today, tomorrow, bears don't prove a thing. But it's there for the taking. Break the low of today, hourly downtrend confirmed, zoom out, scout the hourly, oversold, scout the daily higher low. Financial sector, 39.74 is resistance, actually adjust for dividends. 39.55, we failed resistance by 6 pennies today. Hourly, still in an uptrend, have to break the low of today, tomorrow for daily consolidation to begin. Keeping in mind that it did just fake us out a little bit because yesterday that happened with zero follow through. And it would be very notable to us if that would happen. Any individual name tomorrow, break the low today, straight into a V-shaped bounce, that definitely is a big confidence builder for the bulls. But that is not a highly probable scenario. That's the less probable scenario. IWM. So IWM, same deal. And again, bears in control all morning, bounce into the end of the day, and even able to say, aggressive bears scouting IWM, hourly lower high into the close, because we know that the size of the pullback, what's the most likely scenario? V-shaped to a higher high? Nope. Hourly lower high. Close down near the low of the day. If it breaks tomorrow, the hourly downtrend is confirmed. Daily consolidation underway. Triple top resistance. Adjusted for the dividend. Triple top. Inverse head and shoulders. If we start daily consolidation, will be on the table. But one day at a time. Have to break lows of today, tomorrow for daily consolidation to be underway. Biotech sector. Beautiful top fish. Bulls had absolute control all morning. And then we double topped at the high of yesterday by 5 pennies and then just fell off a cliff. And this one's tough for me to look at because this is your week maker of a trade. Because from the high of the day to the low of the day, those leveraged ETFs, LABD here, 22.25. I mean, we went what, 15%? Can't be that much. 12% on that move. And it's cringeworthy for me because I was literally probably 15 to 20 seconds away from nailing it. And I wouldn't have held the whole time. I would have sold partial and then kept a runner, knowing that I'm looking for daily consolidation. But it was the kind of thing where I missed the entry because I was just just a second too late. I saw it, started filling out my order, and then this candle happened. I said, okay, well, at this point, I'm going to look for a 2-minute lower high, and we just never got it. And the trade just ran away from me. So rather than chasing the trade, I just moved on. And that's the way it goes sometimes, but man, what a beautiful rejection and big time pullback. And again, the positive spin to put on it, rather than getting down on myself about a missed trade, is, okay, you're looking in the right place and knowing that the biotech sector is continuing to give us massive volatility in both directions for these leveraged ETFs. And again, just seconds away from having a big win. So I know the next time around, I'll have that big win. Dollar, still very tight. Again, whether you're looking at uranium or gold or silver or stocks or crypto, we're watching this equilibrium continue to tighten up, and we're still holding daily higher lows. 95.85 daily support, 95.99 trying to be another higher low here. And bulls need a bit more follow through to be looking for a lower high, anything under 96.69, but just tight is basically what it boils down to, with bulls keeping their control at this point in time. CCJ and uranium names, so same as everybody else. I'm scouting a daily higher low here. Tons of space to work with. We could pull back another 10% and still be holding support. Hourly RSI, so I'm watching for if the bears confirm the hourly downtrend. Again, look at how correlated everything is. These are all so very different sectors and individual stocks. They're all doing the same thing. If we set that hourly lower high and lower low, hourly RSI will be approaching, and we'll scout the daily higher low compared to the low that we came from, knowing that on names like IWM and names that correlate similarly, we must confirm the daily trend change. Again, the burden of proof. Look at SPY, look at QQQ. They don't have to prove much to the bulls. Names that have been in complete bear control for 5 weeks, they have the proving to do. They must confirm this daily trend change. Otherwise, this bounce is going nowhere. So a little bit less confidence. A name like NVDA up at its all-time high, or testing its all-time high, or SPY coming off of the all-time high, I'm more confident in an hourly oversold bounce than I am on a name like this, but I like the risk to reward for the potential of monthly higher lows being set. So I would have a swing trade mindset if I were looking for the daily higher low on a name like CCJ. And again, for continued confidence, I would want that dollar to break as well. But it's just something I'm keeping an eye on. I've been patiently waiting for this daily consolidation for the last 2 days. It's just happening from a higher point, which just means more space for the daily higher low to be created, which means a higher probability that a daily higher low will be the result of this consolidation. It's just a question of, can we change the trend? So short term, we're scouting the bears to prove it. I'll go over one more trade. I did short QQQ well today. So I was live streaming, and I said, I'm not looking to make a trade in the first half hour of trading today. I'm going to be a little bit more patient. I had a red day yesterday with the new trades that I initiated, and that's coming from last week being really in the flow, in the zone. I don't know if I had a red day last week, but I had a red day to start this week. We're coasting into the end of the year. So I said, all right, I'm being a little bit patient. And without even looking, my first trade was at 10:31 and 32 seconds. So nice to see that I've stuck to it. But I was live streaming, and it was not 10:31, it was 10:01 and 32 seconds. So 31 minutes. But it was this 5-minute lower high. I forget exactly. It might have been 10:30. I forget which one it was. But either way, it was one of these lower highs where I made a bearish entry, placed a stop over the high of the day. It was this one. It was the first one. So I'm in an SQQ position, new low of the day. Great. I'm confident and comfortable. Then, as we hit a new low of the day, only Apple broke its low of the day. Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, all these other big tech names did not break the low of the day. And I was observing that while live streaming, and again saying, I'm not confident in the bears right now. I'm not loving this bearish position because the big tech names are not breaking their low of the day while QQQ is. We then had a big time bounce. Said, all right, well, I'm not going to stop out because I'm still slightly profitable, and we're still in a 5-minute downtrend. I then saw an inverse head and shoulders shape up. And I said, I was expecting a bull break here. But when I saw this bull move up here, and then this red candle started to form, I said, this looks like a failed inverse head and shoulders. I'm getting aggressive. I'm doubling down on SQQQ. So at 11:07, adding to SQQQ, stop at 403.94 breaks. So again, if I'm wrong, At that point, I'll have a small loss because my initial entry was roughly break even there, and then I added double down. So it was very acceptable risk where if we do confirm the 5-minute trend change, I stop out. So added on this candle, and right as you see, right as I posted that, Lori says, whoa, big Apple move. Obviously, that's not what I want to see if I'm just adding to my Apple short. And she was responding to this move right here. And as soon as I saw, whoa, big Apple move, and I say, uh-oh, I'm still sticking to my trade game plan. But as soon as I see us not break resistance on a big Apple bull move, I know I'm a lot more comfortable. Because I say to myself, if we can't break QQQ resistance with a big Apple bull move, what's it going to take to break that resistance? So we ended up with bears keeping complete control. I then just kept walking my stop down. Stop lower, stop lower, stop lower on half a position because I was aggressive as far as my sizing at that point. We then hit the previous support, previous resistance, now support on the NASDAQ. And at this point in time, I was using this chart to help with my crypto trades. That's a different story. But I then was looking for an hourly bounce to get going. And so I exited half of SQQQ when this resistance broke, but I kept half for a swing trade, knowing that I'm just looking for an hourly lower high to be the result of that end of day bounce. Excuse me. And that's that. So I've got a swing with some short exposure. Again, whether we open higher or lower tomorrow is going to completely dictate what I'm looking for on the morning. So as far as establishing a game plan, I've done my review right now in front of you all. I know what the bears need to do, but as far as establishing specific trades, for me, it's a waste of time to do at night because again, I have no idea if we'll open higher or lower, and that will completely shift what I'm looking to do. So rest of the game plan from here is at 6 in the morning. I appreciate you watching. Hope you have a great day. Don't forget to do some good things out there in the world, and we'll see if the bears are able to prove it into daily consolidation with lows of today, key supports, very similar setups on a bunch of individual names. So Adventure Time, Chapter 14 or something. We are now crossing the Colorado border into Utah. This is a picture of some fire ants accepting my peanut bribe. I've been feeding bugs my whole life. I used to feed spiders in my windowsill cold cut turkey or ham, and they would eat it. And I've been feeding ants. We feed them sugar. Fun to just watch. I just watch bugs. Anyways, these are bones from dinosaurs just along hiking trails. So this is a spine. This is Dinosaur National Monument in Utah, and they have street names like Brontosaurus Way. There's a big femur or something like that sticking out of a rock. Pretty crazy that you can just see these dinosaur bones. There's my first selfie of the trip with my new friend. That's some more petroglyphs just on rock on the side of the road. And pretty cool to, try and interpret what they were suggesting. Who knows? But common themes of spirals and coming off of arms. Not sure. Anyways, it's just one of these spots that's on BLM public land where there's your dirt road, there's your scenery, and there's a whole rock wall, and that's just an art studio for ancient man thousands of years ago. You can see the little drawings right there on the left, some of them. And then there's just a spot you could just camp by a lake right over there. So a nice little adventure. There is nothing developed aside from a parking spot near the lake. There's no signs, there's no people, and it's great. So I was just walking around looking at all the different art. That's where I set up my tent, and I got woken up by a moose the next morning walking through this river here, and the moose ended up just sitting on the side of the river for a good part of the day, and I spent my afternoon on this piece of land there. It's mushy sand, and I would just run as fast as I could from one side and then just slide on my bare feet and go 12 feet. It was just like a mud pit. I had a lot of fun, and there was a rafting crew that floated by while I was acting a fool. And a storm came out of absolutely nowhere, just right over the hill, and these big bursts of wind, and this tent ended up in that water. So I was not prepared in terms of I had not staked it down yet. And again, there was no wind on the day, and it was just like all of a sudden really dark clouds, winds going nuts, and I jumped in my car to, avoid the rain and had forgotten to stake that bad boy down. So Didn't get soaked, didn't sink, but definitely made its way to the water. More shots of the river from the other side. And that is Utah. So didn't expect to see a moose in Utah, but did. So we're going to go over to Canyonlands Arches National Park and getting towards the second half, towards the end of the journey at this point. So I appreciate you watching. Have a great weekend. Check out the USMJ video. Check out the SPY market video. Do some good things. Have a party. Make a friend. Pet a dog.